Hello everyone, I'm Jenny Floriday, and I'm here to show you some Excel tips. First, we're going to talk about evaluating formulas. Have you ever opened a spreadsheet that was designed by someone else and said to yourself, how did they create that formula? We're going to look into ways that you can delve into it and figure it out more readily. Also, we're going to look at moving and highlighting cells. Sometimes you work with the same set of cells repeatedly. There's some tips and tricks that you might want to use so that you can get to those cells more readily. Okay, let's start working. Our first tip is to quickly find the related cells in a formula. Right now, I've opened a workbook that has formulas in it. We can see formulas by looking up at the formula bar, clicking on a cell, but there's a faster way to do it. If we click on the Formulas tab and we click on Show Formulas, it quickly shows us every cell that has a formula in it. So that with this feature, you can see all of the related cells. That's an on-off button, by the way. If I click on Show Formulas again, it turns it off. But by printing in a Show Formulas mode and displaying row and column headers, you'll get a hard copy that will show you the names of your columns in the exact cell address. So that's one way that you could go in and work with formulas that have been inherited from other people's spreadsheets. A second way is to go into the cell that you're evaluating, and you can, in this same toolbar, do what's called a trace precedence. What this does is it shows you with arrows how each formula is linked to other cells. This also can be printed out, and the arrows will print with it. If I click on Remove Arrows, then they all go away. A third way is trying to evaluate the formula that you're in. Once again, we're staying on this Formulas tab, and we have the Evaluate Formula option. When I turn that on, it shows me A12 times B2. If I click on this Evaluate button, it takes each part of the formula that's underlined, and it shows you what the resulting number will be. So that will be 52,000, and then it's going to multiply it times B2, which is 0.05, and then the answer will be 2,600. And if you ever get into a formula that has multiple steps in it, that's what step in and step out do. They let you go into different forks if you had what are called if statements for more complicated formulas. So that's a nice way to go in and look at what was created before you without having to scroll around and look everywhere. The last way that I want to show you is by using the keyboard. And to do this, I'm going to show you, this is the key you hit. You go into a formula and you hit the open bracket key along with the control key. And you will then highlight any related cells. I'm going to do it right now. So I'm in this cell. I'm going to hit control, open bracket. Look what it did. It highlighted the top cell and the cell to the left. If I was in a block of cells and I did this, control, open bracket, this was a sum, so it shows you everything that was added up. And by the way, the control G and enter takes you right back to the original cell, so you can return to the original cell. In addition, if you have a formula that is linked to a cell in another workbook, I'll put one in here right now. If I click into this cell and I say that I do have two workbooks open, I'll just show you. I have data table and I'm in video sample. If I click on equal and I go to the other workbook and I click on a cell and then I hit enter, that takes me back. It shows me the result. If I wanted to see how this would be working with the control open bracket, look what it does. It finds the other workbook, it opens it, and it takes you into that cell. And if I click Control G, it takes me back again. So hopefully that makes it even more valuable. Our second tip is going to talk about moving between different areas of your workbook. I'm going to go into a large data sheet. And first of all, a lot of people would just scroll down to get to the bottom, but not us. Did you know if you hit Control and the right arrow key, if you're in a filled in cell, it takes you to the end of the filled in cells. Now, I have nothing else in this spreadsheet, so if I click it again, it's going to take me to the very last column. No problem. I'll hit Control left arrow. It takes me over to the cell I was in prior, because a filled in cell looks for the end of the filled in cells. If I do that again, Control down arrow, it takes me to the very last cell. Control left arrow, and then Control up arrow. So that's how you can quickly move around a block of cells. If you combine the Shift key with that, you'll be able to highlight as you do that. Now, if I just hit Shift with an arrow, all it does is highlight one cell or one row at a time. Good. If I hit Shift Control right arrow, I just blocked out all of the filled in cells in that row. If I do it again, I did everything in that column. Another couple of things that might be of value to you, if you ever get lost in your spreadsheet and you want to get back to the beginning, if you hit Control Home, it takes you up to cell A1. Now, if you're on a laptop that doesn't have a movement keyboard, you have to hit the FN for function key before you move up to the top again. Another shortcut for highlighting cells is Control A. Control A knows the beginning and the end of the block that you're in, and it highlights it all at once. Now that that's highlighted, we can actually name the block. Now, naming a block, all it is taking a block of cells, and instead of using their cell addresses, it gives them a name. It could be as small as one cell, as large as all the cells that we have here right now. And the reason you name a cell is because you want to go back to it repeatedly. So once you have highlighted the cells that you want to name, this area of your screen is known as the name box. If I click in there and I type in a name, and I'm going to call it products. Now, when you get done naming a cell, you must hit the Enter key for the name to stick. Also, the name must start with a letter, and it can have no spaces in it. So this follows all the rules. When I hit Enter, I now have a block called Products. And if I go to a different tab, and now I want to go to that block, it takes me there and it highlights it. This is especially helpful if you're going to be repeatedly printing the same block of cells, because you could just go in and type this name instead of the range beginning and range end with the column and row indicators, and it's just a lot faster. And in that vein, there's another shortcut for you. I can go in and have the system automatically name my cells for me. I'm going to block out this range of cells, and in the Formulas tab, we have something called Create from Selection. If I click on this, it knows that I have labels for the top row and for the left column. When I click OK, looks like nothing happened. Let's see if anything happened. If we come back up to this name box and I go to Far East, it highlights all the corresponding cells. Well, that's it. I hope that you felt that you learned enough here and that it's going to save you some time, because that's the goal of all of these classes. Good luck on all of your Excel ventures.